How does the enemy sell us lies to convince us to be defiant? Is it this lie? Well, who are they to tell me what to do? Or how about this lie? Well, everybody's doing it. Or how about this lie? They'll think I'm just weak. Today, we're going to look at a man in the Old Testament and how he allowed defiance to rule his life. We're going to look at the destruction it caused for him and to everyone around him. So stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here. If you are first time or if you are a regular class attender, I am so glad that you are here. You know, ever since I came out of my trauma in 2019, there are so many things I have learned from my trauma and that I continue to learn from my trauma. And two of the things that I have learned was that the enemy is at work. The second thing I've learned is that we can fight back. You know, he is constantly feeding negative thoughts in our minds. He is constantly trying to derail us, to try to keep us from our course, our purpose in life. And one of the ways in which he can do this is to put thoughts of defiance in our mind. We can really learn from Pharaoh today. Pharaoh is the guy that we're going to look at, and we're going to see how he didn't fight back these thoughts of defiance. And this story is found in Exodus chapters 4 through 12. And this is when Moses and Aaron are approaching Pharaoh and asking him to release the children of Israel, to let the Hebrew slaves free. And Pharaoh is defiant, not one time, but 10 times. 10 times he says no. And with each of these times that he says no, there is a great plague that not only affects him, but it affects others. And these plagues are so horrific. They are interrupting the day-to-day operations. Anywhere from the first one of the Nile River being turned to blood to the last one in which the firstborn died of all the Egyptians. And this was a huge price to pay for defiance. There was a huge price to pay for him and a huge price to pay for all of the others who were affected by his decision. And so you may be saying, well, Jennifer, I'm not a big king. I don't rule over thousands and thousands of people. And so my decisions really don't affect others. Your decisions, no matter if you're a leader of the biggest country in the world, or if you're the leader of your family, or if you are a single individual, Your actions affect others. And when we look at this defiance that he chose time and time again, we can see that this was a habit with Pharaoh. You know, the saying goes, watch your thoughts. They become your words. Watch your words. They become your actions. Watch your actions. They become your habits. Watch your habits. They become your character. And even though you may think, well, you know, my decision doesn't affect a lot of other people, you know, if you have chosen this defiance, to these acts of defiance time and time again in your life, it has actually grown into a habit and then has been part of your character. And you become so blind to it, you don't even realize that you're actually doing it anymore. And so when you may get to a big fork in your life, and there is this, you're presented with a situation, and you're not obedient, because obedience is the opposite of defiance. And so you have created this habit within yourself, and you've come to this crossroads in your life, this fork in your life, and you actually choose defiance, and you don't even realize you've chosen it, because you've chosen it so many times, and it greatly alters the course of your life. And so when we look at Pharaoh, we see the destruction that it caused. People died. People lost a lot. People's lives were a mess. And so when you think that you're choosing defiance, and you think that you're choosing joy in your life, you're choosing misery. When you think that you're choosing defiance, and you think that you're choosing gains in your life, you're choosing losses. And so that is the lie the enemy sells us. He tries to make us think that, you know, he wants us, he's trying to better us and keep pride in our life and self-promotion, and it actually leads to self-destruction. This is a powerful story to look to in how to battle the thoughts of defiance that come into our lives, the thoughts that we can battle. You know, when we are faced with this temptation of being defiant in this situation, do the opposite. Fight it with obedience. So when you are tempted to be defiant, do the opposite. Fight it with 100% obedience. And this will bring joy in your life. That is my spiritual food for you to munch on. I can't wait to see you next week.